Oftentimes, when I want to get a horse to know me, okay, and they don't know me, based on their nature, a horse, if they don't know you, they want to get away from you, okay, and so most trainers use a round pen to get a connection with a horse, because without a connection to a horse, you're kind of wasting your time, even if they're obeying you half the time. If you don't really have a connection with them, and that means that there's something going on between you and the horse personal. Like, they'll follow you somewhere without a rope. Uh, they like you. They let you brush them, saddle them, and when you're done riding them, they're happy. Big deal when they're happy when you're done riding them. Here's the time limit on a horse in a round pen. The first 5 minutes are the most important. Okay, the first 5 minutes will set the tone for the rest of your work. So what I do with a horse, and I bring him in, I don't know him, I'll turn him loose and see how much energy they have in them. And if that horse has a lot of energy, I'll just sit there in the middle on my mounting block and watch them run around until they calm down. And then I'll start pushing them around like I'm the herd boss and they're new to my herd. Have you ever seen horses accept other horses into their herd? It's not very much fun to watch. They trounce them and chase them and dog them for hours. And they humiliate that poor horse until his head is on the ground and he's just waiting for a chance to sneak back, and they'll let him if he's a good boy. If he's not, they'll chase him off again. Well, we don't need to be that heartless or that. We just need to know how a horse's brain works, okay? And so in a round pen, when a horse can't be looking at everything, they start to conserve their energy and get tired, or for whatever reason lose their desire to flee you. And that's when you stand back and let them start to draw to you. Give them a reason to come to you. And if they don't want it, if they keep wanting to go, I let them go. I don't chase them like other trainers use this method, except here's what they do. They chase that horse around until they run him out of oxygen. Okay? I ran track. I know what it feels like to run out of oxygen. They chase them around until they run out of oxygen. The horse lowers their head. They call that submissive. And then the horse doesn't want to move anymore because his tendons are tight and, he doesn't want to move anymore. And that's how they train. And it'll work. It works. If you pursue a horse long enough, they'll just give up. I wouldn't ever try to purposely make a horse tired. They'll make themselves tired if they're stressed enough. Okay? So understanding that a horse is drawn towards certain things and wants to move away from certain things, like that the horse is always going to be drawn back to the horse trailer where he came, or his buddy where he came, or he's going to want to go back to his barn or his stall. Horses think like that. And so for them to want to leave all that, you've got to be a little bit special with them. And what I mean by that is, how do you treat a horse so that they trust you and they love you and they respect you and they won't run you over or ditch you in a bad situation? You have to be the most humble person in the world to work with a horse. Humility is a trait that I find in every great trainer that I've ever met. Is they'll help anyone, anytime, anywhere, and they're very humble about it. Some of them are a little rough when they get to working with their horses, but they're still humble, and I find that horses like that kind of a person that doesn't try to be a big boss to them. Because there's a difference between a big boss and a leader. Okay? A leader is someone you watch and admire and follow, and they don't have to tell you much of anything. A boss tells you everything to do, and most horse trainers are bosses. They're not really what I call leaders. But if you're a confident leader, you don't need to boss anybody. They'll go with you. They'll trust you. And so that's the most important part. Correcting horses, I don't believe in correcting a horse. Here's how I deal with that. I have one thing I'll do. Like if I'm on her and she's all nervous and I want to calm her down, First of all, I have to stay calm. If I get excited too, it's over. So this is the hardest part of horsemanship, is remaining calm when the horse gets excited or wants to trash you and buck you off, like what happened to me the other day. Really, it's about, like when I got here with this mare this morning, she was jumping and spooking at everything. She's never been anywhere where she's the only one, and there's all these people sneaking around doing stuff. And all I did was stand with her the whole time and get her to eat and brush her and walk around a little and me stay calm. Not try to make her calm, just me stay calm, and then she works off me because she trusts me. You have to set an example. So if I'm on her and she's jumping around, all I'll do is bend the neck and let her follow her tail around if she's nervous. You know you can't hold a nervous horse still, you know that. It's impossible if they don't want to stand still. So what do? You bend their neck. By the way, that relaxes a horse. If there's a stick in their neck and they won't bend, that means they got a problem with you or with the bit or something. So a horse should bend their neck, like softly, okay? And now watch the way I use this rein, because I'm not pulling. I'm not pulling on the rein. I'm tipping the head. I'm tipping the nose. This is tipping. This is pulling. There's a big difference. This will cause a horse to go off balance, okay? Now, if she's nervous, I'll sit on my right pocket. If she's nervous and doesn't want to stand still, then I'll wait for her to stop. And then I let go. And then I get right back on both pockets, because you can cripple a horse by favoring one pocket over the other. So it's very important that when you sit a horse, that you have even pressure in both pockets, okay? And if the horse is standing a little crooked, you try to shake that saddle straight, straighten her up a little bit. Okay, good girl. She took the deep breath. That means, okay, Bill, whatever.